Hello, everyone. My name is Janai Downs, and I am here with Mary Davis. And we are in the midst of our fast, but also in the midst of Share Jesus Now. So I know Mary from Gary, Indiana, way back when. You all know her from singing in the choir on Sunday mornings. And you also know the fruit of her labor with Crew. But Mary, I'm going to ask if you would tell us a little bit more regarding your specific experience with evangelism.
Yes, absolutely. Hello, all. So for me specifically with evangelism, I will say it has definitely been a journey, yet an exciting one as well. Just the spiritual maturity that I've been able to come into as a result of just being open and obedient. That's the big thing. And I will just say just the blessings for me personally in that obedience and just knowing that God is in the midst of those conversations, those discussions. So it was definitely a challenge for me, but with each passing year, I grow more and more. Not feeling comfortable, I would say was the biggest challenge for me, not feeling qualified, if that makes sense, to spread the gospel and just to share in general, but realizing that it's bigger than me. And that's been the exciting part of the journey when it comes to evangelism for me.
Amen. And I like how you mentioned about challenges. Sometimes it is a challenge when you're thinking like, okay, I'm supposed to share Jesus with someone, but how would they receive me? Like, what's going to be their thought process when I approach them, or even when it comes to friends, family, people that know us, that love us and trust us. Sometimes it feels like a little bit of a challenge. But do you have any specific testimony or story where you can tell us about how God has shown up when you've actually shared Jesus with someone else?
Yes. So I think this is great timing because a couple of years ago, actually during our church fast, I spent just a lot of intentional time in his presence and just really hearing from him, shutting out technology, just all of the things that would normally consume my day.
Yeah.
And during that time, God was really working on me and in me in a mighty way, giving me things that I could have never imagined. So 2 years ago, approximately, he gave me a title and I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? And he's like, I just want you to write, just write. And I'm like, I'm not a writer. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not me. And so a year ago when we were doing our fast, Less to Bless was birthed, and it turned into a blog for me, a Christian blog, which I am actually able to be vulnerable, share some of my own challenges, share some of the areas in which I've been able to grow to help others. And just to get some of the feedback from my subscribers in terms of just the blessings that they've been able to take away of seeing God show up in my life, even during times when I thought it was really dark for me, and being able to know that he was yet still working, even in the midst of what appeared to be dark for me. Yeah. So just being able to share my personal testimonies, being able to be a witness to others in terms of seeing, hey, like this is what it looks like. This is what trusting and believing and being obedient looks like. It's been a tremendous blessing, and just him to continue to work in me and through me. I just try to make sure that what I feel and what I know as a believer is seen, felt, and heard for others.
Yes, that's awesome. Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you sharing. I think a lot of times people feel like when it comes to sharing Jesus with other people, when it comes to evangelism, that's specifically up to the church, but actually it is up to all of us as individuals. And so I love, Mary, how you shared your blog. That's very important. Some of us have social media, we have writing skills, we have ways where we can share Jesus. And then some of us love to just talk, so we can walk up to somebody and share. So that's our encouragement during this time. We want you to feel blessed and excited about sharing Jesus Christ with other people. We've all been saved and excited about what God has done in our lives, and we ought to spread that however God has gifted you to do. So that's our encouragement. In fact, Mary, do you have any other encouraging words that you want to give to someone who's thinking about sharing Jesus Christ with others?
I just say be led by the Spirit. Let God use you in that moment. We never know what it is that we share in that moment, how it can bless someone. We never know what someone is going through. And just don't be afraid. Like, I think that that's the biggest thing is don't be afraid, and just go with it and just trust God that he'll show up. And sometimes it may not always be in that moment, But just knowing that you're planting a seed, I think, is what's most important.
Amen. Thank you very much. Share Jesus now.